Greetings, adventurers, and welcome to Double Advantage, a D&D show where half of us have no idea what's going on at any given moment. It's complete and utter chaos, but guess what? We love it. I'm your Dungeon Master, John, and along with me, like always, are my beautiful friends, so let's go ahead and get them introduced, starting with the one and only Mr. Blazing Torchic.
Hello everybody, my name is Blazing Torchic, and in this lovely campaign, I play Malon Sakto, the male wood elf rogue. I have my beautiful, lovely psychic blades that I am wielding, throwing, doing all sorts of things with. Finally used my daggers for once in a not so pleasant way. And yeah, if you caught last episode, you'll have seen a bit of the Red Rebel.
Yeah, the Red Rebel indeed. The Crimson Champion is no more in this particular instance. The Red Rebel is in full force. So go ahead and check out the last episode. Check out the rest of the series. You don't want to miss it. It's great. And last but certainly not least, BryceKrispie.
What's up, guys? BryceKrispie 94 here, and I play Volstagg, the half-orc druid. You can catch me wild shaping into all sorts of critters and beasties. Also trying to be the voice of reason currently. But
yeah. The moral compass is tilting a little bit. So yeah, the last episode, there definitely, at least in my eyes, there's a bit of a conflict happening currently. So we'll get to see how that plays out, which is a lot of fun. Last but certainly not least, of course, special shout out to the artists of the show, Renny, Texas, Carl Uber, and Mitch Ninja. It has been a pleasure to have them a part of the show, and without them, none of this would be possible. And even more importantly, I think that this is a very great announcement to make. Today, the day that we're recording this, marks the 1-year anniversary of us recording Double Advantage. On the dot, on the day. I made sure to let the boys know in advance so that we could actually do this, because it's just crazy to think that we've been doing this for a year. So, congrats, boys. We did it. We made it this far, which is pretty cool. The 1-year anniversary of uploading to the Double Advantage channel is March 14th, which is a Monday, and a video will go up. And that will be an excellent video, I'm sure. But we'll see if we can maybe make that one special. Who knows what's going to happen? If you've been paying attention over these last couple episodes, there's a lot that could happen. So, how many weeks is that from now? 2 weeks? 3 weeks? 3 weeks from now, I don't know what the hell is going to happen. So,
yeah. Like that.
But yeah,
2 weeks.
Yeah. So stay tuned for that. And of course, go support Datsunami down below in the description. He's still part of the show. I think if there's not any other announcements, we should be good to go. Right?
Yeah.
Go check out Monster Corner on Bryce's channel, because I think that probably is going to go up. It's either already up or it's about to go up.
Should be already up.
That's what happens when you're a week in advance, folks.
Yeah, because it'll go up Friday. Yeah, so...
Yeah, so last Friday, if you're watching this the day it came out, last Friday over on BryceKrispie's channel, Monster Corner, it is the Catobleepus. So
it is.
Go check it out. Had a lot of fun with that, and I know Bryce did not. So
I did not, but you get to learn a lot about what Cryo was thinking during the campaign. So that was actually really cool. It was like a behind the scenes of Double Advantage.
If you guys want like stuff like that, definitely go check out Monster Corner, because most of the monsters we do on Monster Corner correlate to stuff that I've put in the game, and so you get a little insight. And maybe we'll start some new shows up where I go into detail about what I'm doing here. Maybe the boys will have a show. Who knows? We'll see what we do. But all right. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into episode 37. Oh, damn. 37 of Double Advantage. In the last episode, our intrepid adventurers, known as the Lightbreakers, finally escaped the Underdark and made it back to the surface world of Eros, where they jumped through a waterfall and made their way back to Volstagg's home, where Volstagg finally laid to rest Hogun's old scimitar, turning it into stone, leaving it as a reminder and a grave, a marker for Hogun, as well as creating a tombstone for his mother, which they had never had the opportunity to do so. Upon resting there for a day, they made their way back to the city of Snowcaster after about a 3-day journey, and finally meeting up with some of their older companions, aka Creed, who they yelled at for a little bit. Marble Might, who Volstagg commissioned a crescent moon made out of stone. And there was some banter there, and then they finally made it to Ossie and Willow Jin, the Arcanist, where batches of information were thrown to and from. It was just a hodgepodge of new discoveries, new revelations, and the identification of new artifacts that are now, well, one is in the possession of Volstagg, also known as Clarity, one of the divine ordinances, an artifact of ancient old, now in your possession, my good sir. And with that, you were allowed 2 weeks of downtime, as you needed to patiently wait for the Arcanist to provide Sakato with his new item, which appeared to be a helmet of some kind. And within those 2 weeks, Volstagg, you decided to do some more research into the book. You finally were able to crack the code behind the Druidic, finally actually being able to use it for once, for the first time in gods know how long. And being able to understand what Mother Vile's motives were, and that they were part of an asylum that was treating them very poorly, and they were trying to seek asylum somewhere else. And try to make it to the surface world so that they could have a better life. But you put an end to that swiftly. As well as doing small bits of research on the gods of the world. And noticing within the book, which I didn't touch upon, noticing within the book remnants of what appeared to be a revelation from Mother Vile that the spores within Caesarius could be utilized in a special way, but it seems that her studies of the matter are short, very cut short. Like not a lot of research was done. She didn't get to finish the research because you killed her, and the details of what she was trying to do are very minimalistic. But you gathered that maybe something could be done with the spores that you have from the loom shrooms, and from the wreath. Maybe something could be utilized there, whatever she was trying to figure out. And eventually, sitting in a park, Sakato runs up to you and proclaims that he is being followed by people from the council. And so what you guys do is you get together, you drop off your respective pets at Thybric Marblemites, and Volstagg, you transform into Quellen, and Sakato, you and Quellen make your way into an abandoned temple to the Changebringer, also known as, what was her name? Shit. It's not, nope, I got it. I'm gonna get it. Changebringer. Anyway, Changebringer, goddess of luck, where you were ambushed by a curly-haired ginger elf, a butch, buzz-cut, black-haired elf, and an individual wielding sword and shield and cloak who betrayed them and revealed themselves to be Avery, a person from your... Thank you. I was waiting for somebody to give me thumbs up. Avery, a person you recognize from the village of Kalsang, your home, but when you were much younger, when the two of you were much younger. Words were thrown, people were killed, torture in the midst of a temple, right underneath a statue, almost sacrificial in a sense, and maybe some symbolism there, whether you choose to believe it or not. You let the guy go, proclaiming that this was going to be a message that he needed to tell the council that if they did not release your family, you would come after them a lot quicker than they expected. And so with that, you and Avery are currently in the midst of an argument when her voice is cut off short as you hear the shouting, "Who goes there?" as two thorn guards begin to push their way through the doors. What are you doing as you are currently standing over a body, and behind you is a statue where there is piles of blood and acid on the floor. You have, respectively, Volstagg, you're pretty clean. You have a couple of gashes and some arrows in your chest and legs. Avery is clean, but her sword currently just has a shit ton of blood on it. And the blood on your feet and your boots are currently, they're soaked. And it's in that stage where, like, the blood's solidifying, so it's like making that stick sound, like when you step in syrup that's been on the floor for a little bit. That's a terrible simile there, or metaphor, or whatever that was. But what do you do as they are peeking in through and making their way towards you?
Just Volstagg's gonna shout out, we were ambushed and attacked by some elves.
Okay, make a This is not a lie. So make a persuasion check with disadvantage because you're currently standing over some dead bodies. Which, I mean, to be fair.
Oh, that's not going to go well. Oh, it got worse.
Oh, no.
No.
The first one was a 7.
Oh, no.
So that would have been 9.
9.
Okay.
The second one was a 6. So it's 8.
Okay. Has the blade been sheathed?
Yep, mine is.
Okay. Also, by the way, the Changebringer's name is Avandra. I finally remembered.
Yep.
Avandra the Changebringer.
I'm going to write that down.
Avandra. Avandra. I think so, right? Yeah, Avandra. Okay, so you hands up are saying like we were attacked. Okay, the two of them begin to walk towards you. Well, let me see, because this would technically be a contested. What did you roll? A 9 or an 8? Okay.
Yeah, I rolled a 7 and a 6, and if it's disadvantage.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they rolled pretty good on that. One of them kind of stands back, has hand on hilt of sword, kind of just holding it there. The other one steps forward.
That dice is going away.
No, I'm sorry. That may be so, but we're at least going to need to take you in for questioning. Whilst this is not a favorable situation, if you are indeed innocent, there will need to be proof of that.
So I'm kind of like, I've stepped in front of Sakado, like trying to like shield him from their sight as I'm talking to them.
Okay.
I'm just like, well, I don't know that we need questioning. We were attacked. We merely defended ourselves. One was killed, unfortunately, but the second scurried off through the back. I'm sure there's a blood trail that you guys can follow if you don't believe me.
Make another one. This one, it'll be neutral because you're kind of speaking their, like, language in a sense of, okay.
Sakado would also like to start playing up the amount of pain he's in.
Okay. So, what did you roll, Wallstack?
6.
Okay. Sakado, make a performance check to see if you can...
Yeah, that's
I mean, you're not faking it, but you're upping it.
Yeah, I'm up in it, right.
I actually rolled a
Performance.
4 plus 2 is 6, so yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll keep that in mind.
Okay, that's a 21.
Okay. You start... and they look around and they see that you're currently riddled with arrows. And let me see if they are smart enough. Yeah. They're smart enough to deduce that none of you have bows on you. Even the dead body. The one who was questioning points to you, Volstagg. You, my friend, are very suspicious right now, but your friend does seem to at least bring some form of clarification to your story. And he kind of nudges the one next to him and points off and says, follow the perceivable trail if there is one. If they're right, then catch whoever left. I'll stay here with them. And is kind of just nods and begins to walk off towards where you pointed to. As you are kneeling in pain, they come up to you and kind of, are you like kneeling down in pain? Or you just kind of like
I'm like on one knee, just like clutching where the arrows would be, just like. Ugh.
Okay. They go ahead. Are you all right, son?
I've seen better days. Yes.
All right.
A bit of help would be appreciated.
All right, fine. And kind of, you can see they take off their helmet. So the helmets are kind of, they're all different. Like, helmets are the one thing that you have noticed are different between the Thorn Guards. Their overall suit of armor, their attire, is relatively the same. The greens, the grays, and the rose on the chest. But the helmets are different. This one kind of has a two-prong, almost Viking-like, just a small, gentle two-prong outward that you can see the face through. Kind of just comes down the cheek and over the eyes. Takes the helmet off, and you can see that it is this kind of hard to describe. It's a darker skinned individual, brownish skin with texture that looks as if it was dirt. And you can see that when they take their helmet off, their hair kind of flops out, kind of a mid-length hair. You can see that dust kind of just emanates gently. Both of you make a history check.
gonna have to click for rolling. History.
15.
Let's use the tiny one.
Okay, 15.
14.
Okay, you would both know that just off this dime, the skin texture, the kind of effects that are happening here, they seem to be of Genasi descent, specifically Earth Genasi, with kind of an earthy skin texture. Kind of almost looks like they are made of a light brown dirt, and they kind of have the dust flowing on them, which is very characteristic of Genasis. You know that some have skin that looks like metal or stone, some that looks like gems. It's a wide assortment of the effects that can be had. And you watch as Sakura, they place a hand on your shoulder, and they are going to use the Paladin feature Lay on Hands to heal you for 5 hit points.
Nice, that'll get me a decent amount back.
As from the hand or from the shoulder coils a radiant, vibrant green energy that kind of escapes the fingertips and pulses into your shoulder blade. You feel much better. It's almost a shock that you were not expecting help in that manner.
Well, thank you.
Yes,
Sir.
of course.
Much appreciated.
Now, here, get up, and kind of holds his hand out to you to pull you up. All right, since you are the one who seemed to receive the brunt, explain yourselves.
Well, earlier in the day I noticed that I was getting followed by people. A short one, I think ginger hair maybe? The one that got away. And the other one, well, this unfortunate fellow here.
All right, make a persuasion check.
Oh, damn, because I'm lying about the ginger one. Wait, would it be deception? Because I am lying about
you're
the
technically
ginger.
lying, so yeah, I would.
Yep.
I mean, most of it is true,
it's-
but you're hiding a deception in there. So I'm gonna.
Yeah. Natural 20 for 29.
Okay. You can see that he's currently looking at you and pondering. Right. If what you say is true, son, then one, this is a very complicated situation. I hope you understand. But if my companion can intercept the gentleman you talk of, then maybe that will at least corroborate your story. And unfortunately, whilst you may be in a sense of self-defense, you're still liable for, well, and looks down at the dead body. There are repercussions that may need to take place. And whilst the whole story is not known, unfortunately, you will be needed to take it into custody. I'm sorry.
Well, it was either him or us. He seemed very eager to finish us off.
I understand, and if it is to be true, still, the loss of a life is not one to be taken so simply. So,
Volstag's gonna interject here.
Okay.
Check our blades. You'll find no blood.
Okay. You show out clarity.
Our blood. There's no blood on us.
I mean,
There's blood on my plate.
technically, I'm pretty sure you hit somebody with clarity.
I don't think so.
Okay, even if you didn't.
No, you
I
did.
cast a
You
spell. Did I?
You cast Thunderwave and then used Clarity, I think.
That's
I'm
I
not
don't know.
sure.
Either way,
No, you activated this as a bonus action.
yes. Either way, clarity's clean. Sakura's daggers are not clean. Avery's sword is not
Shit!
clean.
Well, I knew Avery's wasn't. I forgot
Okay.
about talking to him.
He just kind of. So it was self-defense, yet you have no stains on your weapons. I find that peculiar.
What? No, he means his blade.
My blade.
Mine
Oh, yes, of
might have
course.
got a little messy. I'm sorry.
That's fine. I understand. Look. Things need to be done a certain way. There is law, there is order. Whilst, yes, this could be a case of self-defense, there is still a case of manslaughter, which needs to be atoned for. Somebody needs to be atoned for. And if it wasn't self-defense, then the charges may be dropped. If it was not, and there was malice, will be facing a different set of orders. So, respectfully, I'm going to need you to come with me. Whilst you will not be shackled, but if you try something, just know there will be repercussions for that as well. But I don't feel it is fair to parade you around as criminals. You may walk freely, and maybe clean yourselves up a little bit. So.
Do you need both of us to come with you? Or all three of us, I should say.
Well, and you see, Avery. God, fuck. Why do I keep doing that? Avery. Her name is Avery. Avery is currently, the sword sheathed, and just kind of looks at you, Sakado, and in your head, I think we have to. I don't think we're getting out of this one so easily.
Well, I mean, we do have a pretty good case of self-defense.
I know.
You did ambush us.
If we complied, maybe they'll give us a better break for the self-defense plea. If we try to fight it, maybe they'll be more reluctant. If we just go with what they say, maybe they'll let us off.
Well, yeah, that seems like the plan at the moment.
I don't see another one.
Don't stab anyone else.
No promises. And you watch as she puts her hands up. I have no complaints, sir. Whatever you need to do. And he says, right, well, clean yourselves up, and then we'll be on our way. And we'll need to have some things filled out. Unfortunately, because of the not being, well, waiting rooms, we'll have to put you in cells for the time being. Does not necessarily mean that you're being tried for a crime. It just means that there's an investigation that needs to be done, and reparations. At the very least, a fine will have to be made for, well, funeral fees, cleaning up the temple, things like that. So, at the very least, you're facing a fine, but jail time is where things get a little more complex. Now, come on, let's go. Kind of ushers you forward and isn't moving until you get ahead of him. So, are you guys complying?
Yep.
No.
Sakado is like clenching his fist very hard right now, though.
Did Volstagg say no? Did you say no? You're not complying?
Wait, what?
No.
Okay.
It's not that I'm not complying.
Okay.
Volstagg doesn't see a case for his imprisonment here.
Okay. He kind of walks up to you. What seems to be the matter?
I've done nothing wrong. This was an act of self-defense that went awry, yes. And I understand bringing us in for questioning, but I don't see why we need to be held in cells. I can give you where we are staying. You can find us at any time.
Make a persuasion. I mean, I'm gonna make it disadvantaged because you haven't rolled a single good persuasion check this entire time. And I know that seems... I don't want to feel like I'm punishing you, but it's just the matter of the fact.
Fuck.
Oh, it doesn't look good.
12.
Respectfully, son, if it makes you feel better, since you are the one who claims to not have partake, you may wait in my office. But your two friends here, who do have blood on their hands, need to be held accountable. If they can find that gentleman, at least half of your story thus far will make sense. Your friends, unfortunately, are in a bit of trouble. I hope you understand the scene that is currently painted out in front of you. It's not a pretty one, might I add. I understand your frustration at the matter, but like I said, atonements must be made.
Volstagg begrudgingly walks towards the door.
Okay. I'm sorry. I know he's not happy about it, but when you roll bad and things just aren't in your favor, I just, I wanted it to succeed. I really did. But at least now you don't have to sit in a cell. So, all right, you begin to walk forward. You walk through the city, a 15-minute jaunt, kind of walking through. Whilst you aren't handcuffed and nobody can actually tell that you're being escorted in a arresting manner, You feel a bit of embarrassment walking through the streets. The eyes that kind of meet your gaze kind of make you feel a certain type of way, and eventually you're led into the relatively small building. This is not a prison by means. This is like a mall jail where there's like maybe 5 cells in here, a couple of offices, and like a break room. And so Volstagg, you are pulled aside, and the gentleman who healed you, Sakudo, walks up to a person sitting at the desk, a half-elven lady, kind of with these like braided blonde bits that kind of go around the side, and this one long braid that goes down. And he says a couple words to her, and she nods, and she comes over to you, Volstagg, and says, "Hello, please follow me. I have been instructed to take you to the break room."
I'll follow her.
Before Volstagg goes, I would like to form psychic whispers with him.
Okay, you go.
And also, actually, no, Avery can do it with me, so just Volstagg.
Okay, you go ahead and you establish a psychic link.
8 hours.
Okay, you get corded off, and the Thorn Guard with you two leads you into 2 separate cells, right next to each other. No hard feelings. It's just business. It needs to be done. If what you say is true and you're innocent, then we can move on with our lives. But right now, things need to happen. Right? There's still law. Kind of gives you a side eye and then locks the cages, or not the cages, locks the jail cells and walks away. And now it is the 2 of you in the cell. Volstagg, the woman, closes the door behind her as she leaves the break room. There's like a couple of like pastries and like some water in there. And obviously, like some tables and chairs and stuff. So, we'll start with Sakudo. What do you wish to do as you have currently been locked in a jail cell?
Oh, well, I mean, it could have been worse, I guess. And then I just turn and face directly to Avery. So, what's the story with you and your thing?
In the head or verbally?
Verbally, because I didn't form the connection.
Okay. Well, I wish that I knew. You see, when the Night of Terror happened, you vanished without a trace. And we didn't find out about your father's passing until a few months later. And at the time, there didn't seem to be a correlation, But as I thought about it more, it seemed odd that your father left, then you go bananas, and then he turns up dead. Look, I've never been one for the council either, but I wouldn't go and kill them all because of it. But if they killed your father, then, well, maybe. But the reason why I'm here is a different story. After all that happened, I was made aware the day of your father's funeral that my father and your father were very good friends back in the day. I had no recollection of this until the funeral. He gave a wonderful speech detailing their exploits and how they were in the military together and were working under the council together at a certain point, and then they had a falling out. And I needed to know more. I needed to know why. Knowing that they probably killed your father, I guess that all makes a little more sense, but now knowing that you also have the same powers that I did not know that you did. I came here searching answers to see if you knew anything about my father, but now there's more that needs to be talked about, I suppose.
Definitely, we need to get you to meet Religion. He'll definitely provide at least something for him to think about and then potentially come back with an answer.
Did your father never talk about mine?
No. I mean, he told me stories of his days in the military, but I don't remember anything specific about your father.
I assumed as much. It would make sense. They were such great friends, yet we didn't know each other. I've never heard of your father and you until the day happened. Obviously, we grew up in the same village, so I've seen you, but we were not friends, per se. So, obviously something happened. And I have a feeling that something has a lot to do with us.
Well, yeah, there's clearly something going on here, although I don't think yours is quite similar to mine in terms of what it can do.
It's similar enough to cause concern.
Yes, but that weird thing you did to stop the arrow, I can't do that.
Well, you can't do that. Well, I can't create blades out of thin air, so...
That is fair.
We have a common link. So, that's enough to raise concern. Two people from the same village with connecting pasts having slightly similar enhancements? I mean, that can't be a coincidence, can it?
Definitely not. Do you know of anyone else in the village with what religion called psionics?
Psionics. No. When I started figuring out I could do what I could do, I kept it a secret and didn't really want answers. Because it was something I wanted to hide rather than explore. But then I got posted in Snowcaster. And I thought, well, I might as well try to find you while I'm here. And then I met up with those goons and convinced them to set up an ambush, knowing that they would probably get murdered. So that worked out in my favor, except for the fact that I'm now sitting in a jail cell. No thanks to you, I'll have you know.
Well, I wasn't the one who killed someone.
Yes, but you were the one who tortured somebody much longer than you should have, allowing them to catch up to us a lot faster than maybe they should have.
Well, sorry, I wasn't aware that the gods were approaching.
Well, I know that look. That's the look of bloodlust. So, I'm sure you probably weren't thinking about anything other than recompense.
Well, I got a hold of myself, at least.
You got a hold of him for sure. And now,
Wish I could have got a few more in.
Now they're gonna catch up to him. Then what do we do? Have you thought about that? You kind of threw.
It seems we have time.
You kind of threw your one out with the council into the wind.
Well, it wasn't exactly me who pointed out that he escaped.
Yes, your friend is not very, how do I put this nicely? Intelligent? Maybe?
Well, he's good-natured.
Good-natured doesn't keep you alive. So.
In some circumstances it can.
Surprisingly, he's the one not in here, even though he is a terrible liar, convincer, charismatic. But it's fine. He seemed to hold his own. It's good enough.
Oh, trust me. If it was me versus him, I would have all the cards on him.
He has my respect in that regard. But if he was a little more charismatic, maybe we wouldn't be in a fucking jail cell, but, you know.
Well, there's a lot of things that led to the jail cells, such as, you stabbing someone, which we didn't expect you to do.
Listen, I wasn't the one who wanted to talk in there. We could have at least tried to leave before having a conversation and, I don't know, putting daggers through someone's hand and pouring acid into their mouth, like, really.
Okay, right, the acid, it wasn't my fault. We thought it was a good thing.
Right, of course, that's what they all say. Look.
Thankfully, he didn't die.
He might still do that. Listen.
Well, it's not like I'm complaining all too much, I'll be honest.
We need to have a plan for if he can't make it back to Kalsang. If he gets captured and brought back here, at least our story will be corroborated and we will be let free. The problem with that...
Yes, he's a bit bloodied up.
He's a liability, like I said. They will most likely execute him here, so at least there's that. But now we don't have someone to go to Kalsing.
Except we do.
You know, that was my original plan, Melon, but you wanted to send a sacrificial lamb into the slaughter.
Well, it's always good to have a backup plan.
I suppose.
If he dies, you can go, and that's what you originally planned.
Fine, yes. Yes, it works out. Great, it all worked out. Fantastic, even though it totally
Lovely.
didn't. She just
I
kind
hate
of...
your sarcasm.
She just lays back. I don't like you very much.
I don't like you very much, but looks like we'll have to deal with this for now.
Right, well, just let me get a nap in. He just starts closing her eyes. Volstagg.
Oh, you need to know.
Volstagg. What you doing, buddy?
Did they take all our equipment and crap?
They didn't take any of your stuff because you're not in a cell.
Okay.
They would, I don't know, because even if you're in a cell, I would say everybody still has their shit, because technically nobody's under arrest right now. You're just kind of being held for questioning and examination. But if you try to escape the cells with whatever is on your person, they will then take your shit away. So just be careful and wary of that.
Okay. Well, since I have no idea what to do... wait, so can I talk to Sakado? Or do I have to wait for him to talk?
You can talk to him, yeah.
I've established the link, so you can talk whenever.
Alright, you'll just hear in your head, we need to get Willowgen.
I know we do. We also need to get Avery to Willowgen.
I don't care about her.
I'm not much of a fan of her either, but it's going to be very beneficial to the research of what the hell is going on with the blades I have.
Yes, I suppose, but I was more thinking about us getting out of prison rather than studies currently.
Well, it's a bit annoying that you did mention the guy out fleeing out back. I praise your honesty, but honestly, we could have just left that a little bit out.
Then they'd want to know why 3-on-1 killed a man.
You know, you raise a fair point, didn't think of that. But still, 3-on-2 is a bit of a odd ambush.
Yeah, well, I could have said, she was with them, but I left that little bit out for the sake of things.
True, that would have complicated things a lot more than we need. We don't need anything or anyone poking into Kalsang.
Exactly.
We just gotta hope that that guy runs, yes?
And I will walk up to the door and just start banging my fist on it. Until someone comes to answer.
Okay.
Volstagg, what are you doing?
There are a couple of things. You wouldn't be able to hear that.
No, but he said he was gonna do something.
Oh, and then just stop.
Yeah.
And then he stopped talking.
I have some things that I need to roll on the side here.
Just no one hears it, so you just break down the door.
I'll explain this later because this is hilarious to me because I can't really tell you about
no.
it now. But okay, you start boom, 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 boom. You see the same guard that put Sakado and Avery in their cells. What are you doing? Why are you making such a ruckus?
You said we had paperwork. Where's it at?
Yes, all right, come here. And kind of leads you to his office. Sits down. Listen, I understand that you are only trying to help your friends. Obviously, something went down. You're just, I feel, an individual who is not good at talking when the situation is dire. So now that things have settled, please elaborate your story, and we will see if it matches with the others and with the person that you have mentioned that we are trying to find currently.
Okay, before I start talking, this is out of context because I can't remember. What's Sakado's fake name?
Seinkel.
Seinkel.
Seinkel, yes.
Okay.
All right.
Well, as Seinkel said, he is being followed. He came to me and said that these people were following him and wanted to set up a meeting. So, I assumed the form of our wolf to disguise myself so we could see what was going on. we met the two fellows there, and they attacked us. Unfortunately, the one was killed in defense by... Do I know Avery's name?
No.
I don't think so.
Wait, would I have... No, would you have overheard it? Because...
You think everything was in your guys' head?
With your passive perception? No, because...
No, because I turned around and said Avery.
Because she didn't... She responded yes in your head. With your passive perception, if he did indeed say it out loud, I would say that you were able to hear it.
I did say it out
With
loud.
a 19 passive perception, I'm sure you heard it.
Okay.
Actually,
you
think
her...
I kind of want to make it so that you think her name's Aubrey, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Her name, you think her name, you remember her name to be Avery. You remember.
I can flip a coin.
No, it's okay.
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's fine. If you want to, yeah. If you
I kind of do.
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
Oh,
All right,
no.
so heads Avery, tails Aubrey. All right, I know her name.
Okay.
Okay.
Our friend Aubrey. Now I'm doing it.
I did it. Let's go. Yeah, Avery.
Oh no.
Our friend Avery plunged her sword through the fallen to save Sakato, who, as you can see, was pretty banged up.
Yes.
In a fit of rage, Sakato did attack the other elf, but I intervened, grappled the elf, got Sakato calmed down, and tossed the other elf aside, and he ran out the door.
Right.
I don't know if his name weighs much with you, but I'm sure the alchemist Willowgen can vouch for us. We've been doing work for him in the city.
You work with the Arcanist?
Yes. Yeah, alchemist. I said alchemist, didn't I?
If this is true, I will allow you, escorted, to make your way to the Crystal Rose, where you may have a brief conversation, and then you will be brought back. Is that understood?
Okay, that is understood.
Now that you have been given a space to very precisely describe what is happening, your story seems to make sense to a certain degree, as I talked with a few guards that did say they spotted your friend and a wolf exit the city limits. So that tracks, considering we did not see a wolf. If you are to be able to transform, that would track. So, you will be escorted by a thorn guard to the tower. You will be given 5 minutes, no more, no less. Say what you need to say, and you will be brought back. Is that understood?
This is understood.
Don't let this be a mistake. Alright, go on. Kind of leads you out, snaps at another guard, and says, make sure he doesn't do anything stupid.
All the while that was happening, Sakato had just been like, Volstagg! Volstagg!
Yeah, the whole time, you like trying to pay attention to him, but Sakato's just like, Volstagg, Volstagg, Volstagg. Fucking pounding into your head.
All right,
What's
so
going
before
on?
I leave the thing, I'll psychic whispers to Sakato. I'm going to see Willowgen. I don't know if I'll be able to talk to you during that trip. What's the...
It's more than a mile.
Yeah.
Okay, so you won't be able to talk when I get back unless I see you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So...
Okay.
But so far, the plan's working.
Okay.
You'll know if it worked in a few hours.
What's the story for Avery?
I don't know. Volstagg's really just thinking about Sakato
Yeah.
and him right now.
Alright.
He's not too fond of the lady that just showed up, stabbed someone, and now we're in this mess because of her.
Yeah. Okay. So, we'll say that was happening kind of concurrently. So you begin to make your jaunt, 15 minutes or so, maybe 20 to get up the different levels, and eventually you make it to the Crystal Rose Spire. Knock on the door, slit opens up, and you can see the eyes of Reginald. Seeing you with the Thorn Guard, says, "Is everything all right, Volstagg?
I need to speak to Willowgen.
Is it urgent?"
Very.
All right. And you watch as he opens the door. He's currently in He's having a chat with some friends. But if it's as urgent as you say, I can lead you to him. I am kind of gauging what's going on. I understand Mr. Seinkohl is not with you.
Seinkohl is not with me, no. It's just me.
I will lead you to him. Yes, please follow me. And you follow Reginald as he opens a door to a separate room. This almost seems to be like a lounge room. Like it has a table, it has a fireplace going, low candle light as he is currently sitting down. You can see him, he has a cup of tea in his hands in one chair, sitting across a coffee table or a tea table with a bunch of different, pastries and teas, and two elderly individuals on the later half of their life, 60, 80 years old, both human. An older gentleman with the bald on the top, but still has it on the sides. Pure white eyebrows, kind of has those old dark skin spots going through spectacles, and an older lady, a little bit on the chubbier side, very grandma physique, with like a really nice braided wrapped bun on the top, pure white as well, a little gray rather than white. And you can see that they're all currently drinking tea, and Ossian looks up. Volstagg, I'm terribly sorry. I'm in the middle of something, and notices the Thorn Guard. How may I help you?
Is there an area we can talk in private? I only have a few minutes.
Yes, I'm terribly sorry. I must deal with this right now. I'll return, I promise. They look up. The old lady kind of, don't worry, sweetheart, it's all right.
I look to the old couple and go, my apologies for the intrusion.
No, dear, it's quite all right. Don't you worry. Take your time. She kind of looks up at you. These very gentle blue eyes that are kind of piercing in like a vibrancy. Just looks up at you with a gentle smile and a head nod. The older gentleman just it's fine. Don't worry about it. They continue to sip their tea. He brings you into his study. Is this a conversation that needs to be had alone, or does the guard need to stay here?
If the guard can stay here, that would be nice.
Okay, he can stay. Right. What's going on? Why is Seinkohl kind of looks over? Why is Seinkohl not with you?
He's in jail.
Why?
His past reared its ugly head. Someone was killed, and we are being not tried for the murder, but under investigation for the murder.
Oh, no.
If it makes you feel any better, it wasn't either of us who killed them.
It doesn't really make me feel much better, but... Damn it. Right, okay. And let me guess, you came to me because I'm the only one you know of.
Yeah, pretty much. I didn't think the blacksmith would be much weight with the Thorn Guard.
Kind of looks over at the Thorn Guard. If you could give us a moment, sir, that would be greatly appreciative. And you watch as he casts a spell. Right away, Sir Willogen. I'll be outside. He steps out. Closes the door. Magic can come in handy quite a bit, you know. Anyway.
Yeah.
That'll buy us at least a couple of minutes. Anyway. Damn it. Alright. I need you to do me a favor.
Of course.
I'm assuming they're keeping you not under lock and key, considering you're here.
I used my charismatic personality to talk my way out of it.
Okay, well, we know that's a lie. Anywho.
Yeah, I got lucky.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. I'm sure your honesty and genuine, charismatic, whatever. I'm sure you were able to at least convince them that at least whatever you were saying was true just by your demeanor. Right. Okay. Well, I know this probably seems like we might be on a timetable, but I can't expedite anything. I'm just gonna be honest with you. But I think I can fix it. I can't fix it today. So, unfortunately, you might have to stay a night in a jail. Which I know is probably not favorable for any of you, but I would like to catch up with my friends, as it has been a while since I've seen them. They just moved back into town. They used to live here, I don't know, 25 years ago. And they moved to Minas for a little bit. Now they're back, so I wanted to catch up with them, as it's been quite some time since I've seen them, and I care very much about them, and I don't want to throw them to the wind to prioritize this. I hope you understand. I don't mean any ill intentions, but I care about them more than I care about you. And that's just a fact. But I can fix it. That's all you need to know.
Okay.
I will get it fixed tomorrow morning.
Thank you.
But you and oh wait, no, he's not there. You and Sakuro need to make sure that something like this never happens again. If his past comes to haunt him once more, it will be a liability on my head. It will be a liability on your head, and it's already one on his. If it comes back to bite you in the ass, I want nothing to do with it.
Understandable.
Okay. Tomorrow morning at the crack of dawn, I'll have everything sorted out. I just need time to wind down, and also time to make the proper connections. Be forewarned, there may be a price to pay afterwards still. But it will at least eliminate this current problem for you.
I have a suggestion about that price. I don't know if you'd be able to maybe slide it in, but because we are a little short on gold, we would be willing to work to pay off our debt.
I don't believe what is going to come is going to be a monetary payment. So offering to work is probably going to come back to bite you anyway. So don't worry about that.
All right.
But yes, I'm not 100%. But do expect that whilst you may be absolved of anything, there will still be atonements, right? Like I said, and I'm sure you heard from the Thorn Guards, because they're all about atonement. There will still be a price to pay. So just keep that in mind.
What if it wasn't us who did the killing?
We'll see. What I have to do in order to get this to go through may require payment not to the Thorn Guards. Let's just keep it at that for now.
Volstag's very, very puzzled now.
Trust me. It's not going to be detrimental to anybody. Just may need to provide a little work on your end to get things all sorted out.
Understandable.
We'll see. Alright. Let's go. I'm sure you're on a clock.
Yes, probably.
Right. Leads you back into the room. I'm so sorry, Mr. and Mrs. Woodvine. I had to deal with Volstagg here. My companion, a friend of mine. He's the one I was talking about. Him and his companion went to the Underdark. Crazy, right? You could see the older gentleman. That was pretty impressive, I'm not gonna lie. That story seemed like a fever dream.
It felt like a fever dream.
Well, I'm glad you made it out alive, boy. Yeah, I mean, you could have met a dangerous fate down there. The stories I've heard through my time on the Underdark are not pleasant ones.
It is a very interesting place.
Well, if you find anything interesting, we're thinking about reopening our apothecary. If you have anything we could use, we can maybe make you something. And you can see Ossian. They're actually, they used to run the apothecary in town. I don't know if you've been looking for one. There hasn't been one here for 25 years. But they used to supply me with all of my my material needs when I was just getting started here in the tower and in school. They're really good at what they do. So if you need a healing potion, a strength potion, I don't know, whatever they do nowadays, I'm sure if they end up going through with their apothecary situation, then you can go check them out.
As Willagin was talking, I was reached into the bag of holding and pulled out one Hemonite and one Lush Room.
Okay.
And just kind of hand it to Mr. Woodbine.
Mr. Woodvine, he takes it.
Here's a couple items from the Underdark.
Well, thank you, Sonny. I appreciate
Have
that.
yourself.
This is interesting. What is this? And holds up the mushroom. This is fascinating. Wow. Right then. I'm sure we can find something for this. Thank you. That's very kind of you.
You're welcome. Any friend of Willagin is a friend of mine.
Well, thank you. Right. Since you have urgent business, I think it's best you get to that.
Yes.
Right. Well, you take care now. You can see
as well.
Mrs. Woodvine. Take care, son. Just kind of gently gives you holds the tea glass up to you in her very dainty, shaky hands. As Willowgen looks to you and just gives you it's gonna be fine. And Reginald walks you and... Alright. Reginald walks you out with the Thorn Guard. And for the sake of expediency, you make your way back. What are you doing, Sakuro? As Avery's out cold, she's taking a nap. You're muted.
I didn't say it, don't worry.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure Scald gave me the squirt stick.
Volstagg has the squirt stick.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been great.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
wow.
I think I've had it since we
For
got
a while.
it.
Yeah. Yeah, you've always held on to it. Pretty much.
I think we were messing about with it
Since
then.
Ataro, I think, is when you've had it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Do I have anything that could annoy Avery?
You have 2 explosive seeds. I don't know if you added those to your
That's
inventory.
that's called assault and battery.
And I don't think it would be the best idea to set off an explosive in the prison.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
not
think so
gonna
either.
lie.
Wait, how much time? So it would have been 15 minutes to walk there, 15 minutes back. You probably talked for 5.
So that was about 30, 40.
Sakuro, as you're sitting there, you see Avery's kind of just sleeping, like twitching in her sleep a little bit. And you watch as the doors kick open, and you can see that being dragged into the cell is a curly-headed ginger elf who is currently still dragging blood across the floor. You can see that his legs appear to have given out as they are like practically carrying him into the cell, and they toss him into the cell next to yours. He just lays there bleeding. And you can see he has his helmet on. The one who healed you up said, "Well, at least half your story is somehow coming to fruition. Let's hope the rest of it all makes sense."
I hope so too.
And begins to
Just
walk
like,
out.
damn, I bloodied him up a lot.
Yeah, and he's like just laying flat on the ground in like a pile of like hay, straw, and shit. Just like just not moving or speaking at all, just laying there. So then, like 5 minutes later, Volstagg, you would walk in,
Okay.
and you would be escorted back to the chair or the conference room.
Would Sakuro notice any guards?
What
like
would you mean by that?
watching?
Like watching you guys?
Like watching me or the cell next to me?
No. So basically, you're like in a back room where like there's a one-way door. They threw him in the cell and then left. Nobody's currently watching you because if you were to escape, the only way to escape would be through the door that would just lead out into the room filled with all the guards in it.
Are they all in separate cells?
They're all in separate cells. There's about 5 cells in here total. It's a jail, not a prison.
I could silence him for good.
Fuck.
Because, I mean, I do have psychic knives. They won't know I did it.
Snipe him through the cell bars.
They won't know I did it.
You could. It's up to you.
Would I have seen Volstagg, like, as he walked past?
Mm-mm.
No. Ooh. Okay.
Because
So
he
I'm
would
not
have.
actually back there, right? I'm still up front,
Yeah,
technically.
it's like on the other
Okay.
side of it.
Okay. Because he... So what I'm thinking is he is pretty badly injured and he could start talking. And that won't be good for me.
It would not be good for you in the slightest.
And given the state he's in, he could have just died.
Yeah, it is not unreasonable for him to have died in the cell. He's an easy target. He's a liability. It's your call, 100%.
Right, okay. It doesn't state that the person I'm connecting with psychically has to be conscious.
He's breathing. Like,
I'm thinking more so, Avery to kind of...
oh, you want to wake her?
Yeah.
I would say that that's not impossible or improbable. I think that would be totally reasonable. It'd be like if you were just to shout out loud, like, hey, wake the fuck up.
Where I just like, Avery! Just bang the bars.
Bang the bars, like, out loud? Okay.
Yeah, just like try and wake him up.
Alright, Avery, just... What, you fuck? What do you want?
Him. They got him.
Oh, fuck me.
And instantly psychic whispers for 8 hours again. Okay, getting good for that. Right, okay, we have 2 options here. We either leave him alive and he can say stuff, or I can hit him with one of my blades and they'll never know.
They won't... What do you mean they won't know?
Oh, so my blades are fun. No stab wounds, no blood, no nothing.
You could have done that the whole time.
Well, I kind of wanted him to suffer a little bit.
Jeez. For fuck's sake. Really?
I'm sorry.
Really? We could have gotten away with this with no stab wounds. We could have said that they had heart attacks. And yet you decided to...
Yes, I know I acted a little bit rashly, but so did you with your sword.
Just
through the back of someone.
Just finish what you started. He truly is a liability now.
Just going through my head is Volstagg. Just like,
Hold on.
don't kill him.
I mean, he wouldn't know.
Yep. I'm showing
He
no
wouldn't,
face.
he
here.
wouldn't
It would
know.
it would only be you and Avery who knew.
Sim wants his last time cracking his death.
Okay. We'll say for the sake of it all, I mean, just roll to see. I mean, I think he's prone, so technically you have disadvantage on ranged.
Yes, I do, so I can miss
Technically.
him. So disadvantage. The natural one.
Okay, you do have a second blade.
That'd also be a disadvantage. So, 16?
That's his armor class.
Oh.
Don't even roll damage. Because technically it'd be sneak attack because he's unconscious. He's like asleep. And he has like 2 hit points left. I've been keeping track. You just first one, goes through, misses. You hear in your head, "The fuck are you doing?"
Sorry, it's a bit hard to aim through the bars.
Just frink, and you watch as that one hits him in the neck. You watch as he pulses and twitches, and you can see blood pouring out of his nose. He's not moving or breathing.
I'll see this and I'm like, guards, I don't think this is good. Someone help him.
Make a performance or deception. I'll let you check, or I'll let you go for it.
Deception gets a +9.
Okay.
Oh, my deception checks have been good lately. That's a 26.
26. You watch as he's not like shaking like a seizure, but he's like twitching a little bit, and the blood's coming out of his nose, and you can see a couple guards rush in. Oh gods, what's happened? What happened?
I don't know. He just hit the floor, and then maybe he banged his head a little bit. I don't know. He just started.
Turns around to the guard that threw him in there. What are you doing? You're fucking killing people before we even get a chance to speak to him. What are you fucking idiot? Right. Get a doctor in here. Jeez. Goes ahead. They're like scrambling to find a doctor. You could see as the door opens, and you could see the woman who was at the desk gets down and is trying to like figure out what's going on. Touches right here underneath the ears. He has no pulse. He's gone. I'm sorry. I can't do any. I'm not a practitioner of the healing magics. I'm sorry. You could see the big guard, the one that brought you guys in, walks in, fucking kicks a bucket that's sitting on there. You fucking idiots. You are gonna have to pay for that, you stupid. Alright, well. You can see that he's extremely upset. Thank you for at least trying to fucking save him.
Well, I mean, he could corroborate our stories, so I kind of want him alive. I'm a bit peed off that he's dead now.
Right. Alright, this is gonna prolong things. You're going to have to stay here for the night, because now we have to deal with fucking this too. Jeez. Right, well, you two sleep tight, and we'll figure this all out in the morning. He just kind of kicks another bucket as he walks out. You just hear him cursing down the hallway. Volstagg, you watch because your building, your area is on the other side of the office. You just hear him cussing, and then a door slams as he's cussing in his office still. So
I'm just kind of like, someone's pissy, and then I'm playing on my loop.
Okay, practicing your loot. Go ahead and make a performance check.
All right.
I think you have proficiency with the loot, so you can whatever your performance is plus your proficiency modifier.
What is my proficiency modifier?
It's +3 right now, I think.
+3, yeah.
Yeah. 20. Not
20.
a natural 20, but 20.
It's a beautiful little tune. It's a nice little, just, it's almost ballad-like. Kind of like, no, like, are you trying to play something you know, or are you free-forming something?
Probably just free-forming something, but it would sound like, trying to think of the name of that song. Let me do a little quick Google here.
Oh, good.
It would sound like the song "I Shot the Sheriff," if any of you know it.
Okay, all right. I like it. A nice little. Okay, it's a nice little tune. And you're a little impressed with yourself. And as that proceeds, the day does go on into the nighttime, where you will all sleep unless there is any additional roleplay things you wish to do.
While I've still got the connection with Avery, I'm gonna be like, so when did your thing kick in then?
About 6 months ago.
Wait, hold up. Right, so where are we at right now? Zakix.
Psychics.
So 1, 2,
I think it's been like 3 or 4 months for you.
6.
Maybe
Yeah,
it has been
okay.
6. I don't know.
Well, did you have any terrible headaches?
No. My hands, you can look, and as she's kind of just sitting there, you can see her hands are shaking. I I've had tremors in my hands since I was a baby. My hands have always shook. And one day it stopped.
One day my headache stopped about 3-4 months ago, and then all of a sudden, I could throw these things. Talking heads, weird stuff.
They stopped shaking, and I told my father, and everyone was ecstatic. Even myself, I thought maybe I had just been cured of an ailment that I've had for years. And one day I was working on one of the buildings caught fire, and we were rebuilding it, and a piece of wood, a large piece of wood, a barrel of some kind, started falling on me, and I held my hand out and stopped it. Similar to what I did with your arrow.
So you can, like, make a barrier? Is that all you can do?
Barriers, telepathic links. My sword can emit a strange energy that seems to harm people mentally rather than physically. And who knows what else I can do. It's kind of hard to...
Well,
it's kind of hard to figure out what's going on when you're positioned in a city as a guard for someone and you're trying to be discreet. So I don't know much.
that is true. Well, I don't know much either. Hopefully, religion can give us some insight on that.
You talk a lot about
Did
this
recently
religion.
go to the Underdark.
The Underdark. Stop pulling my leg.
That's the story. Oh, I'm not, don't worry. Where'd you think I got that potion from?
Fair point. You sure do have a lot of stories. Guess what 9 years on the run does for you?
Yes, well, stories more lately than ever.
I'm sure it's a lot more fun being with companions.
True, I mean, we did have a whole explosion incident at the stadium once.
Man, you have a lot of good stories, I feel.
Hopefully more to come in the future.
Well, I'll be happy to bend my ear if you're willing to tell them.
Well, I mean, we've got some time.
That we do. Go on. Let's see what you have. And goes ahead and starts laying back, and over time you can recount the stories that you wish to tell of your journeys and all the things that you've had to face. And eventually you all will meet some form of sleep, so you go ahead and take a long rest. Your wounds healed, you can pick new spells if you want, your wild shapes come back. And you wake up. You wake up to the sounds of people just kind of, the building opening up. You can hear people making reports, stolen property, not terrorism, Lord. What's it called? When you, vandalization. I don't know why I thought of terrorism. Just different reports, and you wake up. Volstagg, you wake up to the sound of a familiar voice of the, what's his name? The guard, the Thorn Guard, the general of the area. You can hear him having a conversation with somebody. Make a perception check.
18.
18. You can hear it well. You can hear him argue. You can hear him yelling as a very, not soft-spoken, but a very charismatic voice is saying things like, "I have it under control. Don't you worry." And you can hear him saying, I can't always do this, He says, "Yeah, I know, but it's a one-time thing. I'm sure it won't happen again." And then you hear just a little bit of remnants of just a back and forth of that for a little bit. Make an insight check for me.
What's my 21?
Immediately you recognize the voice that is trying to calm down the guard. It is the voice of one Baron Xavier Lotus that you met once in Willowjin's tower. The regal friend and working under the king, Baron Lotus. And you hear that for a little bit. You, Sakura, you have been awake for a little bit. You can see that Avery is stirring. Walking through the doors, you see the Arcanist Ossian Willowjin standing there in front of you. Well,
when I open my eyes, he's just there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nice of you to wake up.
Hi. We have a lot to talk about, especially with that one over there.
Mm-hmm. All I care about is you right now. Would you like to tell me what happened?
So, I was getting followed. Apparently, I, in hindsight, should have been a bit more careful with what I was doing.
You don't think?
Yeah, I got a bit careless, as I have been reminded by a lot of people. Stares daggers at Avery.
I've been trying to tell him, but, he won't listen to me. Fuck me, I suppose.
Well, the good news is I didn't kill anyone.
When I took a peek into your head, I wasn't assuming this would catch up to us so quickly.
I wasn't assuming either. I mean, I know the proximity to Calcine, but still.
It's fine. Listen, Volstagg came and paid me a visit, as I'm sure you probably already know. I needed to call in a favor. You remember the Baron, yes, Lotus?
Vaguely, yes. I think I saw him once.
Like I said, we're friends, old friends. And we still care very much for each other. Rather than a business relationship, there is a friendship. Let's just say he owed me a favor. And I called in the one favor that I had on you.
I'm very grateful about that. Also, quick update on the psionics thing. And I will glance towards Avery. They've got it too.
I should be extremely disappointed right now, but you know how difficult it is for me to be when you say things like that.
Yes, it's different to mine, but the same.
All right,
we can create a... Oh, yes.
We can handle that later. That is not the priority. The priority is getting you out of prison. I have the Lotus. Yes. I have the Baron talking to the General right now. It was a long shot, but because we're friends, he agreed. He's going to get your name and the whole situation striked from the record, as if it didn't happen. Thankfully, the loose end that was killed last night via the guard, I guess he threw him too hard against the wall, that is no more, which means there's technically no case on you. And so the Baron said that he could get them to drop it, but there would still be things to pay, like funerals for the two dead, and cleaning the temple, of course, and other reparations. So, come on, let's get you out of here.
Thank goodness I don't think I could spend any time longer near Avery.
Fuck you. Steps up and...
Same feelings mutual.
And a guard comes and opens up the doors. Volstagg, you're brought in as well. You can see the Baron walks in as well and says, the long slick back hair in his regal attire. Hello, gentlemen. It's a pleasure to see you again. Under interesting circumstances, yes.
Wish the circumstances were better, but it is a pleasure to see you again.
As do I.
Same here.
When you're through talking with Ossian, I would like you to meet me at my estate, please. There are things I would like to talk to you about. He looks at you, Sakura. So, at your leisure, sometime tonight, we can have dinner. Yes?
Inside check. Okay. That was suspicious.
Okay.
What's my insight? That's a 6.
He seems genuine about the offer. A little irritated at you.
Any hint of... Would I have detected any hint of malice?
No malice. It's all irritation. Like, this was an inconvenience to him. But he did it because he is a man of his word to owning up to a favor.
Don't blame him for getting a bit annoyed.
And you can see as they unlock you, Avery walks out, kind of cracking her neck as she was sleeping up against a flat wall. And she kind of walks up to the Baron. Huh. So I'm sure you're made of money. You can see him laugh. My dear, I am money. But I didn't pay for everything, actually. And she's a little confused. Right. Looks at Willogen. Thank you for paying. And he looks up and... You think I have that much money just lying around? I mean, come on. I didn't pay it. And he's just, like, looking at you guys, like, with this, like, kind of like, what the hell? Like, why would I do it? You remember the freaking incense situation. I didn't pay it. He did. And you look over and you see a very familiar face. You can see the garments that seem different in a sense. But it's... How do I describe it? I'm trying to describe it. I'll have him describe it. We met this morning. He was looking for you, and I had to make him aware that you were thrown into prison.
We went very dark.
Yes, very dark.
Yeah, so I definitely needed to come check up on you. But glad that you guys are alive. Good thing.
Well, we've had a few close shaves for sure. We have a lot to talk about.
Yes. I'll take a jump on, for sure.
Did you see,
But,
you see Avery in the corner? What the fuck is happening? What
Oh.
Family reunion?
So, yeah, these are some acquaintances of mine. These are the ones that I've come to bail out. And I will kind of just be like, you guys owe me so much for this. And I'll just drop the sack right in
heavy
his hand.
stack of change. Well, thank you, money man.
And we had discussed the amount, so it's all there.
Well, like I said, and you see Lotus steps up. I would like for you to meet me. I will see you in a little bit. I'm sure you have plenty of business to attend to and a lot of catching up as well, so we'll leave it at that. And he just makes his leave. So, you see Ossian, I think we should take this to the tower. Yeah, let's do that. And the three of you, and Avery in tow, begin to make your way to the Crystal Rose Spire, the beautiful black stone wizard tower with the ivory accents and the lavender windows. Make your way in, and you are brought into Arcanist Ossian Willowgen's office, the gnome wizard, who is currently sitting in a chair with a face of disappointment, but thankful that it has all been dealt with, similar to the face currently on the look of your friend, Bishop Arias Scald.
All right.
So, what do you all wish to do?
Well, first, good to have you back, Scald.
Thank you.
I'm sure you were not expecting to find us find one of us in a jail cell.
Well, no, that was kind of the unexpected thing, but once, without me here, I kind of had an assumption that something would have a little awry, but you guys look good. You guys look good.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, yes, but to be honest, I didn't really need to be in that cell. Everything was in self-defense, and glances at Avery.
Okay. So, what happened? What's going on? Why were you in there?
So, you remember the whole thing with my past?
Yeah, that was dicey.
Might have been a little bit careless with how I went about hiding and, you know, kind of been followed by bounty hunters.
Ah. Okay.
I mean...
Let him in on the little whole sign Cole is basically your sister's name.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I had to think on the spot. I didn't really think I'd have to give a name, but it's so interesting in the circus act.
Well, you know, it's... I know that was a tough thing. I mean, how did that turn out, the bounty hunter? Are they...
Well...
alive?
One of them, acquaintance, took care of, before we could even have a chance to reason. The other one, indirectly I was involved, but I would say it's more of the prison guard's fault for kind of throwing him in that state. Should have been a bit more careful.
Are you saying they caught the other one?
Yeah, they got the guy who ran away. He looked worse for wear, obviously, you know what happened. They threw him into the cell and he must have just hit his head.
Oh. Must have just... yeah, slipped. Fell. Okay.
I mean, he was
Insight
pretty...
check.
Okay, yeah, go. Yeah, insight check. Whoever wants to insight check that shit, you can.
I'm absolutely doing it. 100%.
I did feed him poison accidentally.
It's true.
Well, I mean... well,
I got a 19.
So I'm doing deception.
You're doing
right?
deception.
Yeah.
My deception's been good today.
Avery will pipe in and say, he did throw him up against the wall pretty hard. It wasn't a pretty sight. I don't know if you noticed the blood splatter on the wall where his head was. So, contributing to, so you can have advantage on this.
Oh, well, I got 27, so I think I'm good.
Damn it. Okay. Yep. No.
Yep.
Yeah, nope. Nothing. You guys genuinely believe, like, the guards were just careless.
All right. Well, hey. I mean, I've seen the accidents happen.
I mean, that ties up...
Volstagg knows the shape he was in, so...
Yeah. This ties up all loose ends. I told you I could get it fixed. I just needed to call in a heavy favor. Which seems like he wants to meet with you for what it's worth, I suppose.
Yeah, how do you two know each other? Like...
We grew up together.
Wasn't expect.
We're friends. I was new in town. My parents came by and, you know, were trying to get me into the school. And after a lot of trial and error, a young Xavier Lotus and his family offered to help us. They paid for me to go to school. And then when my parents ultimately passed, he took me in as a brother. And we've been together ever since. We've experienced a lot. He's been by my side through my parents. I've been by his side through a lot of his losses in life. And, you know, with a bomb like that, favors come and go. I've owed him plenty, he's owed me plenty, and I just so happen to have one in stock.
Well, I appreciate you using that on us.
Well, I really didn't have much of a choice. Considering Volstagg walked up on my doorstep, and you guys have done a fair bit for me, so... It's only fair.
Yeah. We have a lot to catch up on with you guys, apparently.
Yeah.
A lot has happened.
They've been doing a lot without you, unfortunately, Mr. Scald. It's a pleasure to meet you, by the way, Austin.
Hey, pleasure.
Well, okay, let's get a couple things out of the way first so that we can all be on even footing and pretend that this day is normal by any means. First things first. You, Mrs. Miss, what's your name? My name is Avery Moore. Mrs. Moore. Okay, Miss Moore. So Sakuro claims that you have similar enhancements that he does. Is that correct? Yes, that's correct. What about it? Is she gonna be comfortable with me, I don't know, taking a sample of her blood or any part of that?
Well, she might bite.
Do you bite? I mean, I don't bite. Only if...
I'm curious. Why do you need her blood?
Oh, you've been gone for a while. Like I said, we never actually got the chance to meet. So, your friends here, when we first met, it was a bit of a rocky start, I'll say. This one came in disguised, and that led me to believe that maybe he was a hitman of some kind trying to kill me.
Fair.
So there was a scuffle. I read his mind, found that he was running from something, then found the image of a red dagger in his head and was curious as to what that was about, and then discovered that he's got some kind of enhancements, and then I decided I wanted to study him as reparations for them just kind of walking in here. So yeah.
Study him like a lab rat?
No, I'm not doing tests on him. He wanted to know what is going on, and I agreed to help him.
I mean, it is a weird thing.
Okay. We're gonna have to have talks about deals that you guys make. Just,
I
giving
just want
blood,
the staff.
never a good thing. Just for future.
I'm tending to agree with him, but if he can help us get one step closer to what the fuck is going on, yeah, sure, whatever. And she takes the edge of her blade and just cuts her thumb. And you can watch as Ossian just kind of pulls it and draws it into this vial, stoppers it off, and takes a hand and shoots it off into a different room. Thank you. That is very appreciative, and I will get to the bottom of that. Okay, that's round 1. Round 2, Sakuro, go sit in that chair. I think it's time to get this situated. And you watch as he floats his hand in, and the helmet that he has made for you, the wraparound band with the hair flowing out and the sides on the cheeks coming to a point of this dark metal. You can see that it now has etches of runes in it that are currently not alight. And he says, just gonna be honest, not sure what this is gonna do. But, hey.
Helpful?
It might sting a little. Maybe.
Can I cast... I think I have Identify.
Oh, do you? That's interesting.
Do I have it? No, I might not have it
I don't
yet.
think you have it.
Not yet. Can I just do... what is it? Detect Magic.
Yeah. Go ahead.
See what...
So detect
Yeah,
magic.
just gonna cast
Your eyes flash over. There's kind of this white gloss over them. You could still see Scald's pupils, and you immediately look, and it is under the school of magic known as enchantment, and it is currently giving off a green radiant energy, which is a signifier of enchantment.
Okay. Perfect. Okay.
Yeah, it's not. Just off that, you don't sense malice.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah.
Wouldn't get anything too big off that anyways.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
So he kind of sits you down, and he kind of straps it up to your head. Right. This is going to tap into, or at least attempt to tap into, the inner wellspring of psychic energy that you have. It might also tap into other things, and I just want you to be careful about that. You might experience some pain similar to those headaches. You could also experience painful memories. I just need you to be strong of mind and fight whatever this is so that it doesn't do more than it's supposed to. All right?
Reassuring, but I mean, sounds interesting.
Great. Goes ahead and presses these 2 buttons on the side. You can see the runes begin to glow up. You can feel that the where he pressed the buttons, these little things attached to your head kind of send a little spark of electricity as they kind of attach and pierce into you. And they're in. He says, okay, we're going to find out what this does. You can watch as he turns little dials on the side and then presses the buttons again. And this shock just sends into your head. You just feel a similar sensation of those headaches that you used to have. It's just intense. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me.
This ain't gonna charm me or put me to sleep, is it?
No.
Okay. Ooh, that's an 8.
An 8. Okay. You see yourself. Just the immense pain is just shaking your head. And you close your eyes trying to fight it. And you open your eyes. And you're currently standing when you were sitting. You're standing in a familiar building with a wooden floor. You look at your feet and there's a pile of bodies and blood. You look down and in both of your hands are 2 crimson daggers, but not the daggers that you know of today. They're daggers that are so drenched in blood that the metal has dyed red. And they are dull as they are dripping. You look and you can see in front of you 3 people cowering in fear. All members of the council that you've yet to finish off. And you are filled with rage and anger. What do you wish to do?
Is he still sitting there for us?
You see that he has stood up, and is kind of.
He's standing.
He's just
us.
staring into emptiness right now. He just stood up and is staring into emptiness.
Okay.
I'll start walking towards the last few council members.
Okay. Who are you walking towards? You see. Let me go ahead and. Let me pull up the names because I forgot that I have them.
I have them, but I can't read my own handwriting.
You see Alora, who you had left. There's Alora and 2 others that at this moment you don't really remember, as their faces are kind of blurry, as if you just genuinely don't remember what was happening during this memory.
I'll go for one of the blurry-faced people.
Okay. You are just filled with raw rage in your heart.
Why? Why my father?
I don't know. I didn't do anything. Please.
Why is his body in the woods?
I didn't do anything. I'm innocent, I swear. You can see that they're just bending down, like not even trying to meet your gaze.
Not one of you is innocent. Bring down the knife on their neck.
Okay. You guys watch as Sakuro runs towards Willowjin and is attempting to kill him.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Dispel Magic on that stupid headband.
Okay. You go ahead, you cast Dispel Magic out. Right as you're about to stab, you could see it it's like pulling back a curtain. You're about to stab into the neck, and you could see that the knife turns into the psychic dagger, Sakuro, and instead of stabbing this person in the neck, you're about to stab Ossian Willowjin as he sends up a barrier of arcane energy and blocks it. What the fuck are you doing?
Buddy, what? Okay.
What?
No.
I have drawn clarity at this time, and like as soon as Scald dispelled magic, I would have yelled, "Calisay!" So
Okay.
I'm standing there with the
Scald. So you Scald, you cast Dispel Magic. Ossian does the shield, and you see that Volstagg pulls out this sword you've never seen before. It's like a glass scimitar with a gold handle, and he says the word Calisay, and you watch as within it a storm begins to spiral, and on the blade these crackles of lightning as he's holding it out, and it's currently sparking in his hand.
That's dope. We're gonna have to talk about that at some point too. But
You let it get to you. What happened that night? There's a memory in your head that is so far gone. You have to move on.
Yeah. I tried, but... Can we try again, but restrain me this time?
If your friends are okay with it. I don't want to do
Please.
anything that would make them uncomfortable.
I feel like I need to do this.
if you need to do this, that wasn't too much for you. And Okay. The dispel only is going to last for a few more seconds anyways.
Well, I mean, I don't think I'd be able to kill anyone here. I mean, I think Willigin can more than hold his own.
I could fucking obliterate you in a second.
I do not doubt that at all.
Good to know.
When you practice arcane for over, 30 years, you get a little... Yeah, anyway. If you two are okay with it, if he wants to do it, I can put it back.
You have rope?
Yeah,
Chains?
we got some rope and chains and stuff.
I would use chains.
All right.
Oh,
You what?
confident in our abilities, are we?
Kinky.
No, I just want to be safe.
Okay, fair.
right.
I'm just kidding.
All right, so you guys strap him in. Are you sure about this?
Well, I mean, if it's gonna be this difficult to get it, there's gotta be some kind of reward.
All right, fine. If you want, I can maybe tone it down a little bit. I think that there's
No.
room to enhance it later. I can work on it over time if you want to start slow.
Jump right into the deep end.
Okay.
That's how this is gonna get solved.
Taps the buttons, twists it, presses inward, and you feel the shock once more in your head. Go ahead, make another wisdom saving throw.
Right, different die this time. Come on.
Oh, before can I cast resistance on him?
Sure.
I think it's the same as guidance. It's just you add a D4 to your
Saving throws, right?
saving throw.
Yep. Yes, sir, you can do that. You just tap him on the hand gently and then walk away. So a D4.
Having a cleric.
Oh, so wait, I added D4 to it.
Yeah, it's a D4.
Yes.
Okay, first off is 16. Good.
16. Do the D4.
17.
Okay. The DC was 16. Just putting that out there.
Ayo. Okay.
So you go ahead. It begins to feel your head and you see yourself in that similar room, and immediately, instead of feeling that anger, you feel the regret. Almost an acknowledgement that you've returned to this room instead of immediately feeling the anger. There's regret. But then there's an understanding that you have control in this realm. And that this isn't a shackle to you as it was before. Or at least it doesn't need to be one. You look up and you can see in your hands the psychic blades that you have come to know. But they look sharper. They look more aerodynamic. They look more efficient. And as you throw them outward, they soar through. Much more accurate. Much more effective. And you just kind of blink and you're sitting there in that chair restrained. And you guys can see that he's looking around. Like, not like the state he was in prior.
Right, okay,
Alright,
quick
yeah.
question. Would that have felt in any way similar to when Amadeus's thing was there? Like, in my head?
Like Amadeus's deity?
Like, yeah, that. But would it have felt similar to that?
It seemed like a vivid dream. Like a lucid dream. It felt like a dream that you could control. It did feel real.
Well, I didn't stab anyone this time, so that's progress.
Okay, I'm gonna I'm gonna unrestrain you now. I hope that that's not a problem for you.
I don't think it should be.
No, I don't think it should be either. Okay, that implies that your body was able to connect with it, which is beneficial to us all. So now, what I think needs to happen is we need to test the limitations that have just occurred. If that's something you wish to test, I don't really know how this may be tested, but I'm sure you could try. You can
Yep,
see
and I
that
will
you can see that
summon
he's
a
visibly nervous about this whole situation.
Yeah. I'm gonna summon a psychic blade, and is it in any way similar to the one in the dream?
You go ahead and you summon the blade in your hand. You haven't thrown it yet. Yes. Identical to the one in the dream.
Well, this has changed. I like the change.
How much so? Is it A big difference or a small difference?
It's a noticeable difference. We'll have to do a bit more testing.
You watch as he puts
to
his hand
see
up,
exactly
and you
how well.
puts his hand up, and there's this image of a bullseye that appears as an illusion. You can test it.
Let's go.
All right. The blade is now a +1 to damage and attack.
Ew.
Oh, so that would be +6 and a +9 to hit, right?
Yep.
Okay. Nice.
So
Big pogs.
in general, we'll deduce that, and then the dagger. So it's now a +9 for the daggers to hit, but then it's a 1d4 +6 and a 1d6 +6 respectively for the offhand and the regular hand.
So wait, it's an extra damage die?
No. It's so your bonus. You know how your bonus
Oh,
action.
+6. Okay, yeah.
Your bonus action dagger is always a d4 rather than it is a d6.
So it'd be 1d4 +6.
Yeah,
Okay,
1d4
so it's literally
+6 or 1d6 +6 when you do your main hand dagger.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So
Ew.
so that has happened. You throw that, and you see, okay, that worked. All right, now instead of focusing your energy into a blade, try to focus your energy onto something else.
Also, I'm a bit confused.
When you form your dagger, it takes the energy, right? Instead of
Yes?
taking it and solidifying it in your hand, try to send it outward. Like how you would send your energy to communicate with somebody.
Okay, and I'll just turn around and look at the chair and... Yeah?
Okay, you think really hard at the chair. Make a intelligence check with advantage.
Intelligence?
Just straight intelligence to see if that's gonna work.
Oh, that's off. It's off the table, but it's a natural 20.
I'll count it.
I'll roll
There we
it
go.
just in case.
You
That
watch.
one was a 12.
You watch as you're looking at the chair. You close your eyes and you think really hard, and you watch as you guys see that there's a little thing, like a little, not a gem, but a little thing, like a rune, that glows right here. This beam of energy just shoots out and starts destroying the chair, and it just crumbles and cracks and falls.
Oh.
Oh. That was pretty cool.
That gives me flashbacks to whatever there was in the Underdark. Ugh.
It was red, mind you, so it wasn't purple like the original one.
I know, but any kind of beam is just like...
Oh yeah, it was close enough.
So that's where you guys disappeared. Underdark.
Oh yes, we have to tell you about that. That was quite the trip.
Well,
I
I think you guys have plenty to catch up on. I'm glad that it works. I'll be doing more research along with Avery's blood to maybe over time I can improve it, make it a little bit better, and do cool things. Maybe, I don't know. Now you can access parts of your energy that you didn't have access to before. So
Well, I mean, a beam out of my head's pretty cool, so I'm gonna take it.
yeah, well, it's yours. So anywho,
Thank you.
I think you guys have a little bit of time until you need to meet with the Baron. I think he said come for dinner. Would you want me there? Or would you rather me stay here?
If you'd like to come, by all means.
Okay, I can make time. So I'll see you there. You can see that Avery has stepped forward. I would love to join you all for dinner, but I believe that since someone's carelessness has led to a death, I need
yours.
to... Did you say to mine?
Yeah.
I agree with Volstagg.
I don't like you.
The feeling's mutual.
Good.
No, it's always mutual.
Someone needs to go back to Kalsang, and I'm afraid it has to be me. I need to be a message. I need to get your parents back, or your family back. Where do I take them? Because I'll recommend that I be their escort. Where do you want them? if they're to listen to me.
How far would you be willing to go?
As far as I can protect them. The longer I travel with them, the longer it becomes a problem where we could get ambushed by anything. It's not a safe world out there, per se. I can only do so much. What are you thinking?
Ideally, in my opinion, as far away from Kalsang would be as great, like, glance over at Skull, Itaro would be a perfect place, but if somewhere closer...
Well, Ataro is always welcome to new people. We are on the mend. Doing well, so they would be welcome.
If you can get them to Ataro, that would be nice.
Do you have any means of transport to Ataro via boat? Because traveling on foot to Ataro is going to take months.
No, yes, I can make some arrangements. I'm sure I can message.
Okay. I can bring them. The nearest port would be. Let me look at them. I gotta look at the map because I'm stupid.
Tinsley?
Honestly, I don't think it's Tinsley. As weird as that's gonna sound, it might be Taragos. No shot. It's It's honestly a 50-50. It's. They're both.
I'd say Taragos is closer.
I would say Taragos is closer too.
It would depend on the terrain, but
though, right?
I can take them to Taragos and sail them out there. If you can make contact with someone to pick them up in Taragos in, let's say, 3 weeks, maybe even 2, we can ship them off to Ataro.
Message Lady Mistress. Should be happy to.
Okay. Alright, so you want me to send them to Ataro and drop them off at Taragos, and they'll sail from Taragos to Ataro. They should be safe on the ocean. It's better than on foot.
yes,
Much.
much safer.
Okay. 2 questions for you. 1, would you like to meet them? And if not, do you have a message that I can give to them?
I'll see them once this whole mess is sorted out. As for a message... I'm sorry. And... I'll fix this.
Okay. Alright. Hi. You can message your Lady Mistress, you said.
Mhm.
At any point, it's going to take me a while to get back and talk with them, and then if they even let us out. I aim to be with them in Taragos 2.5 weeks, hopefully. But I need to move fast, so I won't be joining you for dinner. And I don't know when I will be seeing you again, but I have some questions for my father. And maybe that might help.
Well, keep that irritant attitude and you might just live through it all.
You made it this long, haven't you?
Yes, although I can say I'm probably a bit more respectful than you.
Well, maybe that's a good thing. Kind of gives you a nod. Looks at you, Volstagg, and gives you a nod begrudgingly.
I just glare back.
Looks at you, Scald, and gives you a gentle nod. It was nice meeting you.
Pleasure's mine.
And you as well, Arcanist. I hope my blood is worthy of your studying. I don't... That's fine, don't worry about it. And you watch as she turns to you and says, after I've dealt with everything, I'll send you word that they're on the boat, and then maybe we meet back up. Try to figure out what's going on.
Maybe.
I'll stay in touch. Take care. You watch as she
You too.
walks out. She's a character, isn't she?
tell me about it. Annoying, but I can't say I completely dislike it.
Well, I sense there's a lot of catching up that needs to take place. I will let you do that, and I will see you later for dinner at the Baron Estate, or the Lotus Estate. Take care. Pleasure meeting you, Bishop. Anyhow. Right. And kind of just goes back to his studying as Reginald walks you out. So, where are you guys gonna head?
Well,
Thybrix.
Thybrix wouldn't be bad. I was also thinking the, I can't think of what it's called.
Shadowstar?
Shadowstar. To eat and drink.
my thoughts exactly. Eat and drink.
But we can always stop by Thybrix if you'd like to pick up Quellen and Scheller.
Oh, you don't know about Quellen, do you? We have a wolf now.
Oh. Okay. Cute.
And not me, but an actual wolf.
Yeah, no, yeah. Okay.
All right, you guys go ahead and you stop by Thybrix. You can see that he's currently at the forge. You can see that a little bit away underneath the table to hide from the sun, Quellen is underneath, and you can see Scheller is currently just kind of sitting there, just looking blank into nothingness as he is just enjoying his time next to his new friend, Quellen.
Doing
you can
turtle
see
stuff.
he turns around. Hi lads, welcome back. Your pets like to eat a lot. Kind of ran me out of house and home, but they're safe, so that's good. You were gone for quite some time. I wasn't expecting you to be gone overnight.
Well, we weren't expecting that either.
Oh well.
In trouble.
And I see Skull's back. How you doing, my friend?
Hey. Glad to see you.
Hopefully everything's well.
It's on the mend. We're doing well.
It's good to hear.
So, figured I could make these guys a little safer.
Well, I think everyone could appreciate that. I have your crescent moon stone, whatever it was. I opted for this kind of mossy stone. Hope you like it.
Well, thank you.
Kind of brings it up, and it's this crescent moon carved out of this stone that kind of has moss like in the cracks. Very beautiful. Hopefully it's the right, size.
Perfect. I'll
Right.
go ahead and affix it to my back where I normally carry my staff.
Right. Sounds good. Anything else you need?
No, I think we're good with your services for now. But
Right.
here, I would like you to have this for the extended stay of our pets and the staff, of course. And I'll give him 20 gold.
You're too kind, Volstagg. Thank you, son. Right. Well, I'm assuming you got some things to catch up on, considering it's the first time I've seen Scold in a while. I'll let you do that. Kind of goes back to hammering at the piece of iron he was working on. So Shadowstar?
Shadowstar.
Yeah, Shadowstar.
Okay, you guys walk up into...
Behind Creed.
Oh, yeah, Creed. You walk up into the Shadowstar Adventuring Guild. It's not too crazy. It's like mid-afternoon, so either people are out doing adventuring things, like job board postings and stuff like that, or sleeping in the back, taking a nap or whatever. Creed is currently sitting, kind of reading this book, kind of this red leather-bound book. Looks up. How you fellas doing? You good?
Doing well. This is our friend Scald. He doesn't try and kill us.
Pleasure to meet you, Scald. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah.
Wait.
Anyway,
More things
yeah,
I need to catch up on.
they've been through a shit in a haystack, so sure, you'll love to hear the stories. My name's Creed, by the way. I own the place, I run the place, and apparently I get people put in really shitty situations. So,
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, right. Enjoy your stay. And just kind of goes back to reading his book. You guys can grab a drink, grab a seat. An empty table, pretty secluded away from anybody else, if you wish to chat.
Yeah. I'll grab a very large thing of mead.
Okay.
Straight from behind the counter, though. Like,
Yeah, you just pour it yourself.
Just walk, but yeah.
Yeah, you see Creed. Hey, Bubba! Yeah, fine. Fuck it.
Takado will do the same.
Wow, you guys
Fucking
just...
pricks. They don't own the place. Okay, I don't want you to
Comfortable
think.
here already, huh?
Hey, we saved your place.
Shut.
It's well
Who knows what
deserved
would have happened?
comfortability.
I
We did
just,
save it and then it nearly exploded, but you know.
I just let it slide because I fucked them over big time. So you know, to each their own.
Ah. Okay.
All right, so you go ahead, grab a big mead. Sakura, what are you grabbing?
Another big mead. I'm curious as to why Volstagg likes this so much.
All right, you guys grabbing something for Scald while you're back there, or is he just fuck him?
Oh yeah, we'll grab
Yeah.
him a large thing of meat as well.
Okay, everybody,
Hey,
large
let's
meads
go.
all around. Plops it on
And
the table.
I will actually partake.
All right, everybody, you guys cheers to a reunion. And what do you wish to talk about? As there is a great many things to talk about.
Okay. So, we kind of just glossed over. You guys were in the Underdark. You guys have made a lot of enemies. You definitely have killed some people, but they deserved it, as far as I could tell.
Technically, we didn't do the killing. That I know of.
You now have a wolf. Okay, so let's just. How did you guys get into the Underdark? How did that?
Well, as you know, we were.
And why was I not informed? Like, you guys, daylight. Hello, light cleric. I'm messing with you guys.
Come in handy.
Yeah.
Yes.
But as you know, we were traveling to my home to pay respects to my fallen surrogate father.
Yes.
And on the way, we met Willigen. Well, we went to Willigen because I was in search of a staff. He took more interest in Sakado's fun mind stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he had related his powers to powers not seen in the Underdark, but rumored to be in the Underdark. So we came here in search of some help on the way to the Underdark. Met Amadeus, a human, I believe warlock, or wizard, or some sort of magic-y person. Very nice. Until we got to the Underdark, and he decided he was going to sacrifice our souls to whatever deity he decided to sell his soul to. So I ate him.
You ate him? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was... I was a very large toad at the time.
Yeah, but how does that work when you
It
aren't
was weird.
the toad?
Well, his body was kind of disintegrating.
I'm not going to ask the details on that one, how that ended up.
He was being a dick, and I ate him. That's
Yeah, no,
long,
I just...
long story short.
The end result,
Yeah, I
that would be a little...
best not think about it.
Yeah, no, we're magic. I got it.
Anyway, after that, we met some myconids, which are a race of mushroom-dwelling people.
I've read about them.
Okay, yes. They speak sort of like Sakado can through his mind.
Mm-hmm.
And they brought us back to their city where we met Noki, a myconoid, and they had a problem with some Durgars.
Ooh, nasty little dwarf Underdark creatures.
Not very nice. They were
No.
trying to poison Caesarius, which was the mushroom city. So we stopped them, fought some very nasty creatures that shot beams of pure death and stench.
Oh gosh.
Once we dispatched them, we met a small Duergar druid lady who was leading this rebellion. I've been learning about her, and I'll hold up her little notebook.
Oh.
This I got from her body after I stabbed my new sword through her throat.
Oh, okay.
She was behind all the evilness that was going on down there.
Right, right.
Yeah. She deserved it.
I could tell.
But anyway, I got this wonderful little sword, known as Clarity. And Willigen told us it was a... What are those called? The special ones?
An ordinance of divinity.
Ordinance, yeah. An ordinance of divinity.
Which you remember is what you guys got that book from Buksabi's sister that their parents were trying to find these ancient artifacts from the Battle of Eros.
Okay.
It belonged to the champion of the Wild Mother, and is, for some reason, taken a liking to me. And that brings us back to... Well, we did fight a giant fish thing that burned. That was interesting. Anyway, and that brings us out of the Underdark, and I will let Sakado tell the story of our current predicament.
Well, before we do that, I did notice that you'd neglected to mention the fact that you went bald in the Underdark, which honestly was really hilarious.
I left it out for a reason.
Went bald?
He skipped a lot of the fun stuff in the Underdark, such as dimension hopping, body swapping, all that kind of things.
The Underdark sucks.
It does. I've heard numerous terrible tales of it.
Yes, but our current predicament, well, we came back here, we had 2 weeks of downtime before this, and I'll tap the helmet thing, was ready to be done, so we decided to just do our own thing for a couple of weeks, and I find out I was being followed by hitmen. And the scraggly ginger one said, "Oh, I'm on your side," and was a bit of a dimwit there, and kind of trusted him. Went out to a temple. I mean, it was pretty obvious it was an ambush, but I mean,
Right.
Things happened. Avery stabbed the other one. I hurt the other one a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Things got a little out of hand.
Right, okay, the acid wasn't my fault. I didn't know it was acid or whatever.
There was acid involved.
Right, I thought it was like those potions you gave me. I'm glad we tested it on him at least before one of us drank it.
This is true.
He lived until he died. But
He was alive until he was, not. Okay.
well, it
At least
wasn't
he
my
didn't die
fault
by our
he's
hands.
dead. Yeah, not by our hands.
Kind of, though.
We gave him a fair shot. I healed him and we sent him on his way.
I mean, yeah, he did heal him. I did put 2 daggers through his hands, kind of punched him up a lot, but it's...
These are the you guys, these are the things that you can't do.
I
You
didn't
kill
can't
him.
stab. You can't stab people through the hands and torture them. That's not okay.
I will admit I lost my head a little bit. However, I didn't kill him, and I'd say that's an improvement.
We take improvements.
We
But
do
still,
take...
but still, we're gonna have to work on that.
Currently doing.
Definitely missed you guys, though. Definitely missed it.
Missed you too.
Just do. How
Yeah.
are things in the Taro?
So it was a little rocky at first. The leadership is kind of in constant flux right now. Just who's taking charge and who's stepping up. Obviously, Lady Mistralith, she's just leading it, but the ones below her are kind of we're trying fill the voids. But thankfully, it had stabilized. Housings are already in good shape coming up. The people on the streets are fewer and fewer every day. So I decided once I lost track of guys, it was time I needed to come figure out what the heck was going on.
No, we're glad to have you back, because we have a lot going on.
Yeah. And hopefully I can, satiate some of it. You guys, bounty hunters coming after you, and
Hey, that's all him.
Well, to be fair, Volstagg, we do have the whole thing with you and that, golden bolt.
Oh, yes, I forgot about that.
the golden what?
While
I'll let
we were
Volstagg.
in my childhood home,
Mm-hmm.
I went down to the basement, which is something I didn't do before I left, and I found the box that Hogan had stashed away. in that box, I discovered a shawl that I believe belonged to my mother.
Oh.
And this, and I'll pull out the golden crossbow bolt.
All right, you see
Ooh.
a golden crossbow bolt about that long, that wide and round, totally covered in gold plate, with little etching, similar in design to the ones on Sakura's helmet as arcane enchantments of some kind. And about 3 inches deep is dried, almost black blood.
Giggity.
I fucking missed that. I missed that. Fucking A.
That wasn't a good one, but hey, I'll take it.
Hey.
All right.
That's what she said.
Let's go.
There it is.
All
It's
right.
Fuck
It
yeah,
is-
baby. Fuck yeah, baby.
This is double advantage.
Welcome back, guys.
All right.
Yeah, so that's what you see.
Can I? I wish I had that spell. I cannot wait until I've been researching a spell that I cannot wait that I can just look at these items and tell more about them. Really get the nitty gritty of them, and I'm working on it, but not yet. So hopefully I can have some more information on this for you at some point. But wow, that is a beautiful crossbow bolt.
I believe it's the one that killed my mother.
That's not as beautiful as I'm gonna. So, anyways,
I'll go ahead and tuck it. I think I had it in a bag of holding.
As charismatic as ever, Scald.
That was such good timing.
Yep.
Oh man, made the whole fucking tavern go hush with that one.
it's just like I'm like, wow, what a beautiful piece of craftsmanship. So that murdered my mom. And here you go. I'm sorry.
Oh, and we got this, and I'll hold up the bag of holding.
Hey, those are always very, very. What can I stash in there? Hold on, let me just start taking shit out of my pockets.
You would have in your bag. You would have your old chainmail. You guys noticed that, or scale mail. He's no longer wearing the scale mail armor, but it is now a breast piece with the Dawnfather insignia on the chest. Still with his Dawnfather necklace and his shield as normal. But you pull out your old scale mail that's been on your back for weeks.
Oh yeah, this is a big weight off my shoulders. Okay, let me just stuff that.
Just
there.
just goes in.
Get right in there.
Yeah,
there we go.
basically. Oh man. But yeah,
but
as
yeah,
you sit at this table, enjoying drinks with one another for the first time in many, many weeks, just being together as one, the Lightbreakers are finally reunited, which I think is where we're going to take this episode to the end. It has been a wild one from start to finish. Keeping this a secret from you guys has been top tier. And it was all worth it just to see your guys' face.
I'm sure I had an amazing face.
It was I can't wait to edit this back.
So good.
But yeah,
I know, so good.
So good.
Thank you guys for.
of course.
For,
Welcome back. He's back, baby. We got
Yes.
our
Yes,
we got our
let's go,
cleric
bro.
back.
We're
Oh,
back
man.
Got 'em
together.
back.
Well, thank you guys for being here. Thank you, Tsunami, for bringing up the idea to surprise the boys, as that was your
Absolutely.
plan since the very beginning. It has been excellent to have you, and it's going to be great to continue this. So we will see you guys next week. We hope you guys enjoyed. We hope you're staying safe. We love you. Enjoy your squirt sticks, and we will see you guys next time.
Ooh,
Peace out.
giggity.
I missed that.